In April 2023, we took a Holland America Line cruise from Fort Lauderdale up to Montreal. Join us as we look at the ports that we stopped at and give you some reviews on how we found our cruise. Hi everyone, we're here in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful day outside, thankfully, after the rain they had last week. And it's cruise day, and we're off to board the Zaandam, going on a trip up the East Coast to Montreal. So we're really looking forward to that. We'll show you around the ship, show you some of the ports and some of the sights.
Been a bit crazy here. There's been no petrol, so all the service stations bone dry on petrol due to the floods last week. So a bit of a panic last night trying to fill up the rental car before we take it back. So drop that back today, and then we head off to the port, and we'll pick you up once we get to the port.
Thank you. Have fun. So check-in was super quick and easy. We had a allocated time, and we arrived I think about 10 minutes before our allocated time and walked straight up. Had a lovely lady check us in, and already on our way to the boat. So looks like the obligatory picture, so we'll do that and then we'll jump on board.
Okay, behind the line. Okay.
The feet stung you a bit sore. Yeah. From standing in one place. Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Sorry. And
Cool.
son, welcome on board.
This is our cabin on the Zaandam, cabin 1862. Beautiful king size bed with a window, and nice little couch. Plenty of cupboard space. Trying to figure out the light still. Oh, even more cupboard space. Safe. Beach towels, robes by the looks of things. More cupboard space. Well, if you want to hang up all your clothes, you've got plenty of room.
And
Oh, wait, there's more. Essentials. Hopefully not needed. And even more cupboard space. And the bathroom. Pretty standard. And a shower over the bath. This bath and shower gels, shampoo and conditioner. Reasonable size bath. Bath the kids in it. Plenty of towels. beautiful big mirror. And sink. Storage shelf underneath there. So this is our home for the next 11 days. Quite a nice view out the window. Ocean view cabin. Got a nice little welcome bag. Hi everyone, we've reached our first port of call on our cruise. We're in Boston, Massachusetts. The ship's just hooking up and we're about to get off and explore Boston. Boston's a city we haven't been to before. We've driven around it and gone up to Salem and Gloucester, but we've never been into the city of Boston, so we're really looking forward to having a look around. Hoping to go up and see Harvard and perhaps swing by Fenway Park and then walk around Boston Central and see what there is to do. check out the skull significance. Must be a Boston thing. Maybe they were like the first ever emojis.
Yeah.
So we made our way into Boston and found that the train line we need to get up to Harvard is closed. So we walked around Boston Commons, we've done the obligatory selfie at Cheers Bar, and now we're making our way along the Freedom Trail. First stop was the State House and the Civil War Monument, and then Granary Burial Ground, where notable people like Paul Revere, John Hancock, James Otis and Samuel Adams are buried. We made our way down past King's Chapel to the Boston Latin School, where the statue of Benjamin Franklin and the Democracy Donkey statue are located, if that's your thing. And we did find out that the faces on the headstones are people's artistic expression of their beliefs in the afterlife, because the Puritan churches didn't believe in religious icons. Yeah, so basically emojis. And now we're on our way down towards Quincy Market, but we've just come across the site of the Boston Massacre in 1770. So we wandered through the markets and they were good for a look around, but we didn't really find them that interesting. And now we're wandering along Union Street, and they've got this very cool and very moving Holocaust memorial down here. The street itself's also very interesting. There's lots of old buildings, old taverns, and very English looking. About to sail away from Boston. We had a great day. Didn't get up to Harvard because the subway was closed, and didn't get to Fenway Park, but we did manage to walk most of the Freedom Trail and had a great look around the city. Just waiting for this container ship behind us to leave, and then we'll be sailing away. It's absolutely freezing. I've got maybe 11 degrees Celsius today in town. I'd say it's probably about 3 or 4 degrees since we got on the boat. It's see your breath in front of your face type weather. So we won't be here on deck much longer. We'll get into the warm. Catch you tomorrow. Hi everyone. We're in our second port of call today, Portland in Maine. It's a new place for us and a new state. We haven't been to Maine before, so that's our 48th state. Getting around them all, we've only got 2 to go. Unfortunately, our itinerary this time missed Newport and Rhode Island, so that would have been our 49th state, but we'll get there one day. So there was lots of walking yesterday in Boston. We didn't get up to Harvard because the subway was closed, and we also couldn't get to Fenway Park, it was a bit far away. But we did a lot of walking around Boston, enjoyed the Freedom Trail and the vibrant city downtown. So today we're only in Maine for 5 hours. It's just about 7 o'clock in the morning and we should get the announcement we can get off the ship shortly. So we haven't got anything planned, we're just going to walk around the town and see the sights, and we need to be back on the ship by 12:30. So yeah, we're off to see what we can find. So we're off the ship and it's still quite early in the morning. Bit of a dull weather day out here, but our ship's looking good in the harbour. In the 18 and 1900s, Portland was a major ice-free winter seaport for Canadian exports to Europe, and in the 1900s a major rail hub. We're just walking around the waterfront park because nothing's open in town this morning. It's a bit cold, but it's quite picturesque. We've made our way up to Fort Allen Park, which has a great lookout and some beautiful homes surrounding it. I came across this little fella here who's just bagged himself a meal, so if you're a bit squeamish, best look away now. We watched him for quite a while and we got some great photos. Bit of a shame about the pigeon, but that's the circle of life stuff for you. We made our way back into town and we're just admiring the beautiful buildings in downtown. This is the fire station and across the road is City Hall. All the vloggers tell you that you've got to go to the Holy Donut. This is the line you've got to stand in. The tugboat's pushing because we've got a bit of wind. Bye-bye Portland and bye-bye USA. Wake up tomorrow, we'll be in Canada. It's forecast to be even colder. Our last view of the US mainland for this trip is the Portland Headlight. Apparently one of the most photographed lighthouses in the US. Hello Canada. Good morning everyone and welcome to Canada. We're finally here. Just docked in Halifax, Nova Scotia. New province for us in Canada. So I'm really looking forward to having a look around. Never been to this side of the country before. Montreal's as far east as we've ever got. So it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, just the customs guys are on board now, just doing their thing. And very shortly we should get a call from the captain that we can go ashore. And we're here today till 5 o'clock, so we've got a lot of time to look around. It should be great. So we've opted today just to walk around the city. Halifax is another port where you dock just about right in town, so it's a great place to walk around. So we've walked probably not even 10 minutes from the ship and we've already reached the centre of the waterfront down here with some beautiful views. Now you know you're in Canada. So we've walked up a reasonable hill up to the Citadel. And now we've got our breath back, we're going to go in and take a look around. We've heard it's really interesting, so we're keen to have a look and see what it's all about. You could go up one. Yeah.
Got it on. Made it onto a map in or postage stamp in 1898. You can't even make it onto half the maps in the world today. The displays at the museum are absolutely fabulous. Well worth taking the time to look through. Outside again, I'm walking around the top wall now. It's the area of town that was flattened when the two ships collided. We joined one of the guided tours of the Citadel and it was well worth it and quite informative. We also got to see a rifle demonstration and the midday cannon which is fired every day at noon. We also spent some time walking through the Army Museum, which has some fantastic exhibits.
We had a great time at the Citadel, and we recommend a visit if you're in Halifax. After visiting the Citadel, we headed back down to the waterfront to the Last Steps Memorial Arch, erected by the Army Museum to honour the Canadian soldiers that embarked here for overseas duties during the First World War. The footsteps on the gangway disappear here and reappear at the Canada Gate Memorial near the Passchendaele battlefield. It looks like the waterfront would be a bustling place to be in most days. Fortunately, it must be a bit early in the season because everything's closed. It's unfortunate, but keep going. When we returned to the cruise terminal, we found this memorial just across from the entrance. As it was our own Anzac Day back in New Zealand, we spent a few minutes reflecting on the sacrifices of our own soldiers. Good morning everyone from Sydney and Cape Breton, Nova Scotia in Canada. We're just on our way into the port. Got about another hour to go I think, before we tie up, and we'll be able to get off and have a look around. Hopefully it's a little bit... Oh, there's somebody on the deck. Anyway, hopefully it's a little bit more open than Halifax was yesterday. There was a lot of the shops down the waterfront were closed, so that was a bit disappointing. The open season isn't until next week, so yep, still getting ready for that. But we'll get off and have a look and see what there is to do. Another cold morning here. It's about 2 degrees if that, but it's meant to not be too windy, so hopefully it won't be too cold. We'll have to just walk faster. This is Sydney's claim to fame, the Big Fiddle. So Sydney is the gateway to Cape Breton, and we did look at hiring a car while we were here so we could go for a drive around the lake or perhaps up the Cape a bit, but we didn't pursue that, and I wish we had now because we missed out on the bus trip that was taking people partway around the Cape. We wandered around town, and although there were some lovely old buildings to look at, and the waterfront's beautiful to walk along, we didn't actually find anything that interesting, and we ended up spending the afternoon at the local shopping centre. So if you are coming to Sydney, do some research, have an explore, and maybe look at your shore excursions and see if there's something interesting there. Merchant Navy Memorial, the looks of things. you, Twins. Good morning, everyone. Today we're in Charlottetown in Prince Edward Island. Got another beautiful morning. It's a little bit chilly at the moment, but it's predicted to get up to 11 degrees, so be a bit warmer than we have in other days. Again, we haven't got anything planned for today, so we're just going to wander around the town and see what's there. Sydney was a little bit disappointing yesterday. There wasn't much in town, but we're hoping to find a bit more today. We just started walking around the waterfront area and it's beautiful down here this morning. It's a lovely, calm, crisp morning. Few little shops down here. I don't know whether they'll be open later on. Might be a little bit like Halifax, a little bit too early in the season. The famous Cow's ice cream, which hopefully will be open later so we can try it. Well, the sun finally came out in Charlottetown. It turned out to be a beautiful day. I heard an announcement from the captain to say around about 7 o'clock, 7:15 tonight, we're going to sail under the Confederation Bridge, which is the bridge that connects Prince Edward Island to New Brunswick. So that should be quite interesting. Looking forward to that. A beautiful evening as we leave Charlottetown. Right, here's the bridge coming up. At 12.9 kilometres long, or 8 miles, the Confederation Bridge is Canada's longest bridge, and the longest bridge over ice-covered waters. No ice out here tonight though. It's a gorgeous evening.
Yeah, but it's going to be way more fun. That is what I'm worried about, not this bit.
Yeek, here we go. I hope they've calculated properly. Doesn't look like we're going to fit.
Shit, well, this is like running away.
Yeah, we made it.
You wouldn't want to be too much taller, would you?
Well, good morning everyone. We're in our last full day of the cruise. This morning we're in Quebec, Canada, and we're really excited to have a look around the city. It looks beautiful. We've just pulled in, getting the ropes on. Apparently it takes a little time to get the gangway prepared here because the tides are quite big, but we should be off the ship shortly, and I'm really keen to have a look around. Got another stunning morning here in Quebec. The ship stopped just about right in town again, so we've just walked up the street about 10 minutes. We've come to this beautiful little square with all these stone buildings. A little bit hilly and a little bit rough to walk around, so if you've got a few mobility problems you might want to opt for a tour around here. And some of these roads are quite steep. Gosh, I can't get over how pretty it is.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. There's the iconic Fairmont Hotel. Looking stunning today, against a blue backdrop with the sky.
Plus large, il y a plus de portes en bois. Large. C'est plus belle. Avec des belles tours, éclairages. Ils sont là que pour faire beau. Or, le train ne se doutait pas en ajoutant ces petites tours.
I've got no idea what that guy was saying in French, so I hope it wasn't rude. We walked right to the top of the hill and up to the entrance to the Citadel, but we kind of decided we'd had our fill of citadels in Halifax, so we carried on. This is the very impressive Parliament building. Some fabulous architecture. This is the Notre Dame Cathedral. Kind of wandered in here by mistake, but it's absolutely beautiful. So we stopped for a coffee and a pastry at a wonderful little pastry shop. And then we spent the afternoon just walking around town. Quebec City is a very, very pretty place. And it was lovely just walking amongst the shops and looking at all the old buildings. We had an absolutely fantastic day in Quebec. Can well recommend it if you're ever coming this way. So we're back to our tradition of sailing under things where we don't think we're going to fit. And the captain announced that this was a bit of a tricky one because of the snow melt in the river and the rising and lowering river levels. This is a bit of a hard one to calculate, so I hope they've got it right.
Jesus, that doesn't look like it's going to fit, Nick. Jesus.
That one's even closer. Bet you that train driver was nervous. we've driven over this bridge now, we're going under it.
Just watching it go out. Hopefully we go under it. So about this point you go, fuck, that's not going to fit. Yeah, there you're going, nah, that ain't going under, that ain't going under. That ain't got a lot of clearance. Go under the
Oh, good morning and welcome to Montreal. We're just tying up to the dock here. It's our last day. We're disembarking today, but we've visited some great ports over the last 11 days and had a great time in each one. We're continuing on our adventure, but we'll bring that to you in another episode. And, I'll catch you later, friends. Bit sad, last time leaving.